So FM22 is now out, which means it is the perfect time for an FM21 video. To be fair, this video was meant to come out last week on Friday, but on Thursday night, Football Manager released the beta for FM22 earlier than I was expecting it to come out, so this video got pushed back because of that. You may remember last week I did a video with Jack Work for Space, but I played my Aberdeen team against his Racing Santander team from FM21, and we had a great game. If you've not seen it, I'll link it in the top of the screen right now. I also played a few games with some other creators as well, and this is one of those videos. Today I am playing against Mike, or you may know him as Sweet Left Foot, one of the biggest names in the streaming scene at the moment. He's done really, really well over the past year. Partner on stream now on Twitch, which is fantastic, and he's had a great save with Kaiserslautern, who we're going to take on in today's video. So at this point, we're going to jump into FM Touch, which is where we can play in versus mode. We're going to go through some players, and then we're going to have a game against each other to see who's going to come out on top, who's got the best team, me or Mike. Right, he's here then. Mike, how you doing? Good to see you.
Good, thank you, Tom. Yourself?
I am very well. Better speaking to you.
Stop it.
Obviously, we're here at the end of FM21. It's been a good game cycle, and your big save this year has been with Kaiserslautern, right? Tell me about the save.
It's Kaiserslautern. Well...
Oh, sorry.
No, you said it perfectly.
Oh, okay, that's all right then. That's good.
So it started back in January. It's been a long 7 or 8 month save. I like a save with a story. So Kaiserslautern were a huge team in Germany. They still are, but they've dropped down the divisions. And I thought it would be really nice to take them back to the Bundesliga, try and win them some trophies, try and get them a Champions League, which, no spoilers, may or may not have happened. And it's just been a really nice save. It's been the first sort of long-term save on the channel that has really sort of propelled the channel upwards onto bigger and better things.
I like that a lot. So how many seasons have you done altogether then? What year are you in?
We're in 2035, so I think 15 years.
Yeah, okay, that's just one more than what I've done with Aberdeen. So obviously you're starting out quite small. I do want to talk about transfer policy in this, because I think transfer policy across different saves is so interesting.
Sure.
How did it all start off with you? Because for me with Aberdeen, we were quite small in Scotland, so it was a case of trying to sign the best players from other Scottish teams. So we signed like Nisbet, Shankland, Alan Campbell, for example. And then once we had that establishment, we could then try and sign foreign players and stuff like that. How did it go for you?
So we started off with no money for the first sort of 5 or 6 years. The board didn't give us anything. We had no sort of financial backing. It was all, every transfer fund we had or wage budget we had was all generated from player sales. So it was a real struggle. The first couple of seasons was mainly free transfers and loans, until I started to find, you find those sort of players that you pick up for free and they're good for a couple of years, and then you can sell them on for money and reinvest that. And that is essentially what we had to do for at least the first 8 or 9 seasons, until we eventually started to realise, we've actually got money that we can spend and not have to worry about selling players to balance the books. So yeah, annoyingly, the first sort of 8 or 9 years was more about finding bargains and selling them for more, and then reinvesting to build the squad. And then after sort of like year 9, year 10, I was just having a lot of fun, just throwing money around, and essentially bankrupted the club, but it was worth it.
Yeah, I did a very similar thing with Aberdeen. We've gone from about 100 million in the bank at the start of the season to we're just sitting on 2 million, and I think the projection is minus 50 by the end of the season. So got to love those future instalments.
Yeah, well, have a look at my net debt, because it's quite large, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, speaking of that, let's jump into the game then. Show your net debts, but I'd also love to see some of your best players.
Okay, so Elvis Ibrahimovic is one of the best players I've ever had come through any academy on any FM. He wasn't signed, he's born and bred in Kaiserslautern, and he is superb. Some of his attributes are sensational. First touch 18, technique 18, vision 19. He's just a very, very complete midfielder, does exactly what I want him to do. He can pick a pass, he can score goals. He's so productive, and I think out of the entire save, he's my favourite player, and I think he's the most valuable player we've had, just because he's come through the academy and made it into the first team. He did have a few loan spells, but he's a main man here at Kaiserslautern.
He looks absolutely fantastic, looking at particularly I'm assuming you play him as a deep line playmaker, right? I'm looking at the 17 passing and the first touch and the technique and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, so he does play as a DLP, but he's so versatile. that I've stuck him out on the left as an inverted winger, a wide midfielder, a wide playmaker on the left wing, an advanced playmaker in behind the striker. Anywhere I put him in those 4 positions that he's accomplished in, he's perfect. But usually he's a central midfielder, yeah. He takes a lot of my set pieces as well.
Yeah, I can see that with the 16 free kick taking. I see he scores quite a few goals with that. And 6'1" too. He's a beautiful man in the middle of the field. Yeah. I like this a lot.
He is. He's a big guy. He's tall. He doesn't win many headers, but he's got good jumping reach for his height. So that does make him quite handy. But again, I do have him take a lot of free kicks. But defensively, he's good as well. Bosnian as well. I like the fact that it's not like a real popular nation where someone's regenerated from, like a top 5 or a top 10 nation. I do like that. And he's played a lot of times for them as well. 69. Nice.
What a beautiful number. So obviously this Elvis guy is your deep line playmaker. He's a Kaiserslautern guy through and through. Came through your team. We've got a very similar guy called Tam McLumper, but obviously in touch he can't have nicknames. So his actual name in game is Martin Anderson, but we nicknamed him to Tam McLumper. And I'm comparing with 2 of these guys right now, and physically Tam is a little better, but I think in most other areas Elvis takes it. He does look to be the better player to me, and I'm a bit jealous of him, if I'm honest with you. You've got a fantastic player there.
I think as well, what might make you more jealous is that he's 3 years younger.
Yeah, that is something that I am a bit jealous of too. But we did recently replace Tam McLumper with a chap called Baptiste Bonts, and if I can just get him up instead. Whoa! God, your guy looks terrible now. Baptiste Bonts, 22 years old. We paid 100 million for him, and I can see why I paid 100 million pounds comparing these two right now.
Yeah, I'm looking at the graph. I preferred. Can we go back to comparing the other player? That made me feel better.
I think we might have to. Yeah.
He's very, very good. Like, they're similar technically, attacking wise and vision, but like physically, defensively, and aerially, I think Baptiste Bont is... and he's younger as well. He's 3 years younger, so you can throw that back in my face.
Yeah, but he is on £275,000 a week, so he's bankrupt in the club, basically.
So Robert Butel, I did nickname him on Twitch Robert Beautiful, because he literally is. He's so good on that left-hand side. He's 5-star rated. It doesn't say it here in touch, but 5-star rated on the actual save. Great set pieces again. Corners, free kicks, absolutely superb. 17 and 19. He gets a lot of assists from there. Technically, he's really, really good. Can cross, can shoot. Decent finishing at 12. Good technique. Everything you want. Everything I want in a winger / inverted winger. Got good flair as well. And some nice teamwork. Work rate and vision as well. Physically, at 6 foot tall, I think he's great. Like, good acceleration, balance, pace, stamina. Again, everything you want in a winger. Only 24 years old. We signed him, I think, when he was about 18, 19 from Dinamo Zagreb, and he has just developed into... He's our second best player. We've had bids from him. We've had bids on him from Barcelona, Man City, I think, for like 250 million, and I've rejected them because I thought it's all well and good having the money, but if I'm not going to replace him with anyone better, then what's the point? And he was pivotal to how successful we were.
That's a big thing for me as well. I've had a lot of bids come in from players, and huge £100 million bids, I should say, and you'd want to accept them, but if you can't actually bring a player in who is better than that player because he is already one of the best players in the world in that position, there is almost no point selling him if you don't need the money, right? And you can tell how good this guy is. I mean, he literally everything you need in a winger is there. Absolutely fantastic.
I think
this guy is incredible.
Four sums it up. Like, I think so. He is that good, and he's been a mainstay. Like, I've had no interest in replacing him at all. So much so that the person that was actually playing left wing got so annoyed that they wanted to leave and not renew their contract at the club because they just couldn't get a look in with this guy ahead of them.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I've had similar sort of issues where you've just got such a stacked team, players who would ordinarily walk into any other team just can't get a game sometimes. So I think this guy is really good. But I've got a player that I think might rival him. And It's not my left winger, because Bryce Delaney is maybe not quite as good, but it's my right winger, Jens Neve. So we've got the comparison up now between Robert Butel and Jens Neve, and it is tight. It is tight here, to be fair. I mean, Jensni's got him on the pace a little bit. In terms of everything else, it's very, very even, I'd say. What do you think?
Yeah, there's not much in it. Looking at the graph, I think Jensniv is, like you said, a bit better physically in terms of speed, slightly better technically. But if you look at that, technical and attacking is only better by 1. So it looks worse than what it actually is. I think Butel is better defensively. Not that we really need that. Aerially, he's better. Physically, the same. But again, there's, like you said, there's not too many differences. They're similar, I think. They're very similar. Mentally, I think Jensniv is better. Obviously, having 15 over 13, I think that makes quite a big difference.
Yeah, I'm looking at the attributes actually side by side right now, and mentally, you're right. Like Jensniv is better mentally, but actually looking on the technical side, Robert Butel is better. It's just in maybe attributes that aren't quite as good or necessary for a winger, right? So, as an overall player, maybe you would say they are very, very similar. It's difficult actually to say who's better. As an overall player in any position, maybe Butel's better, but maybe as a pure winger, maybe Neve just takes it, just with a slightly better crossing and dribbling and slightly better mentals, but it's so tight.
Yeah, there's nothing in it. If you were told that you were going to get one of these two players, I don't think you'd really be able to pick. I'd take either one and be happy with it.
I think you would do, definitely.
Yeah. Okay, so this man, Steven Chavez, his name on the save was Henrico Escobar, Colombian links, I guess.
I like that.
Yeah, he was incredible. He was only with us for 2 years, but it was 2 very storied years. So I got sick and tired of not winning the Champions League, and I thought, right, we've got the money. We need that striker that is going to go out and score us 30, 40 goals a season, score in the big games, turn up when needed, and win us the big one. First year he was here, not so much. He got injured in the latter stage of the Champions League, and we went out in the semi-final. But the second year he was here, he scored 2 goals in the final and inevitably won us the Champions League, which is exactly why I signed him. He did cost me quite a lot of money, just a mere 200 million from Roma.
I can see why though.
Yeah,
I'm just. He's got how many? 1, 2, 3 20 out of 20s.
Yep.
He's got 1 19. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4 18s. Like bloody hell, this guy is mental.
He's phenomenal, and weirdly, there's so many times in the game where he just didn't turn up, or he just made mistakes, or you looked at him and you thought, I paid £200 million for you. How are you not scoring like 2 or 3 goals every game? But
yes,
he turned up when needed. And it was weird because for the final, it was a choice between him and 2 other strikers that had been with us longer but weren't as good. And I was thinking, do I go with my head or my heart? And I thought the sensible choice is to go with this guy and play him up front. And it worked. He can't jump though. Jumping reached 7, which, not great, but...
Yeah, that's not ideal, obviously. But when you've got everything else, I don't think you need to jump, really, do you?
No, he is superb. One of the best strikers I think I've ever had on any FM.
Well, that's going to be an interesting comparison then, because I think the best player that I've maybe ever had on FM is... we actually played as a shadow striker in our save, but he's called Jan Cavalcanti, and he can play striker too. Oh. So, I've got the comparison up. Jan Cavalcanti is on the screen as well as Steven Chavez, and I think your guy takes it.
Do you think?
I think he's got it. I'm looking at this and I'm seeing your guy's got better speed, physicals and attacking. Cavalcanti maybe slightly better technically in the air, vision, but if you're looking for a goal scorer and a striker, I think Chavez has got it.
Maybe again, it's not by much though. Speed and attacking by 2 probably makes that extra bit of difference. Everything else, I think, browsing at this is a difference of 1. But I think having, like you said, those extra physicals, that extra speed, and better attacking attributes for someone that you just want to score you goals. I'm not being biased. I think my guy just about takes it. I'm looking at the attributes though, comparing the attributes. Again, similar to what you said about the previous 2 players, right? I feel like Jan Cavalcanti has got better attributes, like technically, but maybe in certain things that you don't need.
Yeah,
like tackling, penalty taking, not massively important, marking, things like that. Whereas like the ones you need in terms of a goal scorer, like finishing, composure, long shots, balance, agility, acceleration, they're all sort of similar or leaning towards my guy, I think.
Yes, I completely agree with you on that. And I've also just noticed as well that there's a 15 kilo difference between them, despite being the same height. Cavalcanti's 90 kilos. I never noticed that before. He needs to, if he lost a bit of the weight, I reckon acceleration and pace would go up a little bit, and he might actually start to challenge your guy's 19 pace at some point.
That looks worse on mine because I have it in pounds. So
oh yeah, I bet.
My guy's 165 pounds and your guy's 198.
Look, he just loves the extra pie on match day. That's all it is.
You reward him too much after games.
Yeah, well, that's what he had a few seasons getting 40 goals, so he deserves it.
He's got used to life in Aberdeen.
So, game coming up then, Mike. How are you feeling? Who do you think is going to come out on top here, Aberdeen or Kaiserslautern?
I've got to back the boys. I've got to back Kaiserslautern. I've got to stick
I've realised that's a stupid question.
Yeah.
Now, said that, because of course you're going to back your boys every single time.
Imagine
I'd be very surprised if he came and said, "Oh, I think you're going to take it, Tom. Actually, you're going to win."
No, I'm confident. This is the first game we've played as a team since winning the Champions League, so we're looking forward to this. Plus, we've got 3 playmakers in our team.
Okay, yeah. So briefly talk to me a little bit about your formation. Obviously, it's a 4-3-3 I can see on screen right now. How did you sort of come to that?
So we did play 4-4-2 for a long time, and we realised that it just wasn't winning us the Champions League. And I thought, we've got good enough players to have 3 playmakers, so why don't we just try it and see how it goes? And we sort of tweaked around with instructions and found something that got the best out of a very strong first 11, and just stuck at it continuously. And there was times where we looked unbeatable. So good that I've actually taken the tactic into other saves as well.
I like that a lot. And by looks of things, we've finally got a highlight coming in this game. I've got Pascal on the board, who's actually Bryce Delaney, but of course he can't nickname players in this. Come on! A goal already. Jan Cavalcanti. He's really trying to do his best today to show he's better than your guy up front. And Cavalcanti, he loves it. He's celebrating already. I've also realised I'm in the complete wrong angle for the goals and the match, so I'll have to adjust that for the next highlight. But it's a decent goal for us here. 1-0 Aberdeen.
What makes this worse is that I've literally just spent 30 seconds telling you how good this tactic is.
Yeah.
To then go and concede.
It's quite funny.
What's worrying me is that we haven't had a shot yet. We're cancelling each other out, I think. Half an hour gone, there's not been a whole host of action.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I thought it was more entertaining. I thought there'd be a lot more going for it, but I think the teams are just a little bit hesitant, maybe. They obviously respect each other massively.
Yeah,
two
that's
greats, 2 titans of the world.
Yeah.
They don't want to go, heads butting against each other immediately. They want to
not at all
ease into the game as Jens Neve makes it 2. Jens Neve, what a boy.
I'm just sitting here in sadness at the moment, Tom.
Yeah, I hope you are. I hope you are, because we're playing Jens Neve as an inside forward, and in the last season with Aberdeen, as we record this, I've not quite finished it yet, but in all competitions I think he's played about 45 games or so, he has got 50 assists, which is mental.
Well, you have dominated this first half. I need to have a rethink here, because that's not gone well. People are watching this thinking, how has he won the Champions League with this team? It's been better, trust me.
Yeah, I'm sure. So, do you ever have situations with this Kaiserslautern team then where you are 2-0 down in games like this in the Champions League, for example, and you're not doing anything? Or are you at the point where it is a bit easy almost for you now?
I think it got to the point where some games were a bit easy, and I thought I could basically switch the match on, pick an 11, and then just let it play out, and we'd be fine. But in the sort of games like Champions League games and cup finals, etc., I was paying a lot more attention and doing a lot more sort of tactical tweaking. They were the ones that mattered more. But like games in the league, it got to the point where I was really running away with the league, and I could essentially play a second string team. So those sorts of games I was letting it play out. But the ones against like Bayern, Dortmund, anyone who was potentially chasing for the title, Champions League games, I was putting a lot more thought into it.
Yeah, definitely. Are you making tweaks at half time then, or are you?
I'm done. I've clicked play.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you're making tweaks or not, so I was just filling some time to make let you make some changes. But
I've made a few.
Okay.
I'm intrigued by your roles: the shadow striker, the Mazzala, an inside forward, and an inverted winger. I like the opposites.
Yeah, it's quite nice to be fair. I can't take full credit for the tactic to be fair. It was a subscriber who sent me like a bunch of tactics and thought, right, I've looked at your team and think this might work quite well. And this one worked out the best to be fair. So I can't take full credit.
Oh, we've got one. Ilyash Mariba. Lovely stuff, Tom. I hope you're quaking in your boots because the comeback is on, my friend.
Yeah, and it's beautiful with the free kick as well.
Yeah.
We mentioned earlier how good his free kicks are.
Yeah, that's that. I like the fact that the things we've mentioned before the game, these players are performing.
I know, I like it definitely. It is good to be fair. Jens Neve was mentioned, Cavalcanti was mentioned, Buta was mentioned. Oh, Demancic puts it just over the bar as well. The 6'7" Croatian giant who routinely gets 20 goals a season is just insane. Come on, Jan. De Klerk out wide. He's a player we didn't talk about too much, De Klerk. He's probably my best right back. I've really struggled with finding right backs and left backs.
Yes.
I don't know about you.
I did as well.
I don't know if I'm just wanting too much from them.
It got to a point with me, after the first couple of seasons, the board sold one of my left backs, who was really good at the time, and we had to reinvest. But luckily, I'm glad they did, because the left back we signed to replace who was sold turned out to be one of our players of the whole save. Like, he was superb. That should be at the back of the net.
It should be in the back of the net. I don't know. I think for me and my wing backs, particularly when it comes to the transfer strategy, I'm always looking for wing backs who have got really high crossing and dribbling and good pace as well. And it turns out that's just like something that most people don't seem to have when they're playing right back or left back. As Bryce Delaney's through. Come on, 3-1. A big mistake from your boys at the back there.
I mean, I don't really know what to say. We're just talking about right backs and left backs, and my right back decides to essentially give a through ball to Pascual, who has I feel like we were growing into the game as well.
Yeah, I feel like you were a little bit as well. I was getting worried after that free kick went in. You had a couple more shots as well, but I'm looking at these match stats right now, and it's heavily in Aberdeen's favour here.
Right, I'm going to make some tactical tweaks here, Tom.
Okay, talk us through it. I'll talk the audience through it. I'll take my headphones off and not listen, obviously, so I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
But, talk the audience through your thought process.
So what we've done is we moved Chavez from a complete forward to an advanced forward. We've moved Ibrahimovic into an advanced playmaker position and Mariba up. So essentially what we're doing is sacrificing the defensive midfielder. We need to. We're looking at subs as well, and I'm thinking Elvis is not having a good game, which is slightly annoying, but I do trust him a little bit more in this attacking midfield role. Saying that, apart from Mariba, who's got a goal, our other midfielder, Ramos, is playing terribly as well. I think your midfield is just nullifying mine, which is a bit of a problem. So I'm going to go wider. Focus plays down the wings.
Okay. I think it's quite good as well that we can, discuss the tactics a little bit, because I think a lot of the time, I know me, for example, I don't really touch the tactics too much on episodes, so I don't really get to tell my audience quite what I'm thinking all the time. So I think it is good to have those discussions every now and again and give people some ideas with tactics.
What I'm going to do as well is bring on Philip Dolling for Tavares, swap him with Chavez. So Dolling scored a lot of goals for us. He was one of those strikers that I thought, can you hear the dog bark?
I can hear a little bit of dog bark in the background.
Excellent.
But we love dogs here on the TomFM channel.
That's the big dog.
Yeah, exactly.
So we put Dolling up front, who scores a lot, despite only being a 3-star player. Chavez is going to go as well, keep him as an inside forward. I feel like he needs to get into those attacking positions a little bit more out there.
Okay. I like that a lot. I don't really feel the need to make changes right now at all in any sort of regard. I think things are working out quite nicely, and I feel like it's one of those situations where if I make changes, it all starts to go wrong. But again, you're punishing us from some set pieces there. That was so close.
I mean, I'm not happy with how we played. You've had 15 shots, we've had 6. Right. I'm trying to think what else we can change. We're going to have to sacrifice a midfielder. We're going to go 4-2. We're going to go 4-2-4. Ibrahimovic is going to play on the left-hand side. Beautiful. He can't play there, but he's going to be on the right-hand side as a winger, because like we said, he's got the attributes for it. Double advance forward. We'll go more direct as well, be a little bit more expressive, and run at the defence. We've got good attacking players with flair. Let's use them for the last 10 minutes. There's a highlight. If we score, I look like a genius.
You do. You will look like an absolutely brilliant genius if you score a goal off this, and the long ball forward is no good. No genius status for you today, at least for the time being. Baptiste Bont, our playmaker, out to Jens Neve. Everything's gone through him. We've not spoken much about my main striker, Sebastian Varela, but he's just nowhere near as good as Cavalcanti or your bloke. I can't remember his name now. Which is quite poor. Chavez, that's the one.
Our Colombian dynamo.
Worth talking about.
No, he's
Jan
not.
Cavalcanti. It's too easy for him. He's bossed it, and Shadow Striker just works so well with him. I don't know if you've used Shadow Strikers much this year, but I've just had a lot of success, particularly with Jan Cavalcanti in that role.
I haven't used them anywhere near as much as I wish I had by watching
them. Yeah, you look back on this now, with hindsight.
Yeah.
You should have been using them all the time. Maybe won a Champions League before, by the time you'd won it.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, Tom, you've... That is exactly what I mean by when I said earlier, he's a £200 million player, and sometimes you look at him and think, what are you doing?
Oh, yes, I'm laughing at that. That is...
I'm just baffled.
It's the rub of the green sometimes, isn't it, I suppose? It's the rub of the green. And he's just not got it today. Oh, my players do.
We've gone very attacking now, so if you grab another one, I wouldn't be surprised. I
hope so. Just to rub salt into the wounds.
Yeah, I mean...
Bryce.
You've already beat me once in the past few weeks, Tom. You don't want to... That's it. Just pass it back to the keeper. Let's take it easy now.
I'd like to do it again.
I think... Well, yeah. I mean, congratulations, Tom.
It. Thank you very much.
I hope you're happy.
Is, I'm delighted. I'm very, very happy with that. That is a beautiful... And I love it as well, because it's another creator that I've beaten. It's not the AI, it's another human being, which makes it even sweeter.
Oh, and you've only got to use the word sweet as well, haven't you? You're really rubbing this in. This is not the Tom I know and love.
Look, when I win games, I get, a little cocky sometimes. So, yeah, there we have it in the end. Aberdeen 4, Kaiserslautern 1. Tom 4, Mike 1. It's a good day to be Tom.
It's a bad day to be Mike.
It's a very bad day. It's not a sweet day to be Mike. That's
it's far from sweet. You to quote TomFM, I guess I should do this. You hate to see it.
You hate to see it. You do. You really do. So, Mike, thank you very much for coming on to the channel today. Great to have you here. So, where can people find you? Where are you doing your content at the moment?
Unless I'm invited back, which I've been smashed. So I don't know if you will invite me back onto the channel.
Oh, you'll be back. You'll be back. I've got plans for you still. You'll be back.
Okay, that sounds rather daunting. I've got plans for you.
It does sound a bit ominous, doesn't it?
It'll
be nice, I promise.
I hope so. I hope it's nicer than a 4-1 loss. You can find me on Twitter at SweetLeftFootFM and Twitch and YouTube at SweetLeftFoot.
Brilliant. You'll love to see it. And for FM22, that's around the corner. Have you got any plans that you've announced yet? Can you talk about anything yet?
Yeah, I could talk about it. I could give a TomFM exclusive as well. So
you'll love to see it.
The beta, we're going to go to Italy with AC Milan, the Rossoneri. The main save, we're going to go to Spain with Deportivo La Coruña. I feel like that'll be a similar save to Kaiserslautern. I feel like it's something I can really sink my teeth into and have fun with, and I feel like that'll be on Twitch. So everyone that has watched the Kaiserslautern save hopefully has enjoyed it, and hopefully that will carry on a similar sort of save in a different country. And what I'd like to do as well, every other week throughout FM22, is have like something similar to this, like a versus mode or a draft mode against other creators. So like yourself, Tom, if you wanted to come on, we'd do that potentially the first month of the new game. And I'd like to do that every other week throughout FM22, just to collaborate more and work more with people in this community.
Lovely. I like the sound of that. So you know where he is. You know where to find him. You know what he's doing. So hopefully we'll see you soon, Mike. Thank you very much for coming on, man.
Thank you, Tom. Always a pleasure.